Hey guys, we're here at 155 Commercial in Welland, where we've wrapped up a legal accessory dwelling unit here in the basement. So my contractor's here, Jay, from Great Choice Contracting and Great Choice Plumbing.
How's it going?
We have passed our final inspection, so there's no other involvement from the city in terms of inspectors coming in and checking beams and fire code and entrance height, electrical, plumbing. We are all done. So the only thing left to do here is get our appliances installed. That includes the range hood. Jay has obviously already vented it out through this bulkhead. So just some last little minute touches. Our fireplace is in, which we're super excited about. When we ripped this stuff off the wall to re-insulate, there was an insert already here, which is really cool because we were like talking about maybe putting a fireplace when we saw this, apartment, and we never knew that there was already this, insert into the foundation. So it worked out really nicely. I think Jay had a heck of a time trying to find a fireplace that actually worked. But this is all Jay, and he did a great job. The tile looks sweet, and it actually ties in with the tile over there in the kitchen. So Jay crushed this project. So I'll let him kind of get into some of the more technical things. Again, if you've seen our last video, the kitchen wasn't in, this wasn't done. I don't even think it was painted. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, it's just getting touched up.
Yeah, so doors are in, fire-rated doors here. Bathroom's completed. I'm excited to show you guys the bathroom. It looks killer. And on most of my projects, I like to do, a light gray or, lighter colors out here in the main area, but I like my bathrooms white. I think it keeps it fresh, keeps it bright, and it looks really good with the vanity mirror and kind of light fixtures. So, yeah, Jay, if you want to tell them about some of the final things that you needed to do to get the inspections all wrapped up so we can put this permit to rest. And now all we got to do is get it cleaned, appliances, and we're going to get this unit rented for roughly $16 to $16.50 plus hydro. So yeah, I'll let Jay kind of speak about some of the more technical things to get this project to the end.
So the last phase was the final. So it was the final plumbing, making sure the hot water was running, water was on, no leaks, as well as the fire separation through the pot lights. Inspector takes these down to make sure that there's a proper detail for fire separation. The fireplace we did, like Eric said, we put this fireplace in when we demoed the wall. There was bumped out, so we made it flush. Upon discovery, we found the insert already done for it, so this was able to sit flush. Like the fireplace itself was able to sit flush on the wall. Just finished off with a nice tile. Last time in the last video, the kitchen wasn't in, so just like he said, we're just still waiting on the appliances. We did a final, on the final inspection, we did a smoke alarm test. So all the smoke alarms in the whole house, upper and lower, go off together. That was it for then here. And then for the fire separation, this wall's a fire separation wall. And then as well as all this, now this is all finished off, so you have a nice storage finished. We'll go electrical. This is the electrical that was all brand new panel. So that was all in the final inspection as well. And yeah, that was pretty much the final inspections for this. And then, yeah.
Come check out this bathroom. So like I said, I like my stuff white. It's just bright. You don't always get a nice big window in a basement bathroom. At this property we do. So definitely want you guys to see this shower. It is really nice. And as we mentioned in the last video, there used to be, it was like a blocked in shower. So we gained an extra foot altogether around the entire perimeter of the shower. So it's quite big in here. Nice little curtain, which we already have, keep the water in. We did add a pot light, so it is nice and bright in here. Because if you close the curtain and you don't add a pot light, it can get a little dark. So those little things that you can do if you're watching where, that's not a spot to try to save $100 or $200. Add the light, you know. It will make a big difference when people are coming through. If they see that attention to detail, those little things will help them want to live in your apartment or house. So I'm all for using cost-effective material, trying to save money in certain areas of a project, but those little things can make a big difference. So don't cut your spending there. Buy nice fixtures, right? I see people do these huge, massive, awesome renovations, and then they buy like the cheapest light fixtures. It's like, don't do that. Buy a nice mirror, buy a nice light fixture. Don't buy the cheapest little $49 vanities either. Tenants, now that the rents are starting to rise in Niagara, I mean all across the country, but in Ontario and especially in Niagara, rents are on the rise right now. So smart tenants that have good jobs and good credit, that understand what good market value is, like any good consumer, they're out shopping around. If your project gives them something that somebody else doesn't, you'll get that tenant, you'll get that rent, and they'll want to move in and they'll want to stay here. That's the other thing. You know, you don't just want to get it rented. You want to have good retention, and that's what we do at Orange List. Is how can we keep our tenants longer? And that's why we don't have a lot of turnover. So our investors aren't paying us leasing commissions every freaking year. You know, like our tenants actually stay for 2 years, 3 years. Now, you don't want a tenant to stay forever, because then, you know, the rent increases don't match inflation, right? So it's good for your tenant to want to move out every 2 to 3 years. It gives you an opportunity as an investor and a landlord to raise the rents. So again, as I talked a lot about in that last video, we got our closet. We did add a nice rod here for jackets, boots, everything. This kitchen's gonna look so killer when the appliances. So tenants can throw a couple stools here. You know, a little sitting area. There's a lot of space here, so you could literally put a round table or even a table against the wall with some chairs. You got a dining spot, and you got this big living room where you can put a TV there, here, in between, up on in between the windows on the wall. So many different options. So I'll take you guys into the bedroom and show you. So in the Niagara market, one of the big things is, and I mentioned in the last videos, don't try to squeeze 2 bedrooms in if you don't have the square footage. Terrible idea. Our target market is a professional couple or a single person. They don't care that much about the second room. Now, if you have a little space, you can offer it as an office, that's cool. But you get a big bedroom here, as you can see. With a nice big window, it's bright. Jay put an extra 2 pot lights than we normally do. We normally would do 2 larger ones. Went with 4, big closet. This is what's gonna get us to that 1650, which is our goal, which is our target. And that's simply by offering them something that they're not gonna find elsewhere, right? And that's essentially what we've tried to do here is how can we make this property stand out? And as you can see with the finishing touches that we've chosen, and that our investor was willing to spend, right? Like we definitely stuck to our budget here, which is great. I maybe spent a little bit because we found a couple of little things along the way, which does happen when you're dealing with the city. There's no shortcuts. You have to make sure those inspectors are happy. It's, well, can you just let this go by? No. They're gonna tell you what they need and you gotta give it to them. And that's usually surrounded around tenant safety, so it's not a bad thing, you know, but prepare. If you have a real estate agent or whatever it may be, budget when you're doing a legal conversion for some extras. It's not crazy. I'm not talking about 20,000 in extras, but could you have 2,000-3,000 in extras? Even 5? Absolutely. So, you know, prepare for that. Have that in your numbers. Not that $5,000 should throw an investment off. It's probably not the right investment if that's the case, but just prepare for it, right? Because maybe you want to buy a second and you have a certain amount of capital set aside. You know, maybe you want to finish your project, then get a second. So those are just important things to consider. So anyways, guys, you know, short and sweet. Thank you for tuning in with me today. We're really excited to get this fully done and to get it rented. And our investor is going to cash flow big time with this property. Even more so because he bought it in November before the market here in Niagara really took off. I mean, it's been growing for quite some time, but you know, January, February was nuts with more competing offers. You know, prices went up $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 in certain areas, like even in the city here in Welland. So either way, one last thing, you know, even having like an outlet down here, right? With we got some USB, so our tenants can be sitting here on their stools, maybe with their laptop. They can plug their phone in right to the outlet. There's USB ports right there. So again, not something most people think of, and I know for me, I would be super excited if I found that. You know, it's convenient, it's easy, it's practical. So think practicality, but also think, you know, functionality and overall aesthetic design and finish, because that's what will attract the best tenants for the highest rent. And here at the investment team at Orange List Rentals, it's exactly what we're trying to do. Thanks for checking in, guys. Talk soon.